When is enough enough? At what point is a collection complete? Join us as we look at the final pieces of a collection puzzle. Welcome to Dusty Toys AU. And welcome to the last in the line.
Dusty Toys AU.
What I've been looking for.
Welcome back to Dusty Toys. Today we're checking out Masters of the Universe Webstor, one of my favourite figures as a child growing up in the 80s. This is a 2021 version of Webstor, and today we're going to have a quick look at him, and I would really like to get a side-by-side comparison to the old fella and see how they look. There is a newer version of Webstor that has been released in the last 12 months or so, a cartoon edition, but today we're just looking at this retro version. You can see the packaging there is very similar to the OG. Comes with a comic just like the OG. This particular card is a bit of a beater, that's why I'm happy to crack him open today. On the back there you can see some of the gimmicks there. He's got a hook that can climb up and a line that you can pull. In the original 80s version that often broke and disappeared. That's the case with mine that I have here today, but we'll check them out and see what's going on underneath the hood, hey? Includes the comic book there. Here we go. Come on out, mate.
I have a little job for you, Bugface. Pay attention.
And here he is, fresh out of his package. The big thing I noticed compared to the original in the 80s is just the amount of articulation that we get with these newer versions. There's an ankle tilt, there's a shin rotation, there's a knee bend, the wrist and elbows bend. I don't want to get struck by YouTube, but if I was to lift him up and show you underneath his loincloth there is a ball and socket joint, which is much better in my opinion than the original 1980s version, which was basically just a rubber band that they put inside, which ended up deteriorating and making it a bit hard to pose too. The head sculpt is a lot harder than the original softer rubber one. A lot of good details there. If we bring him forward slightly, if we can, the old fangs in the eyes there looking pretty good. I do want to stand him back a little bit because he looks a bit better further away. Same old problem as the old ones though. If I move him around too much, he's got no balance whatsoever. The gun sculpt is very similar to the original. Once I bring out the original you'll see what I mean. Around the back here we have his backpack, which is big and chunky. Look at that big chunky backpack there. The front armor, which looks like it's removable with the clips there, very reminiscent of the original. Same sort of coloring as well. This one's a bit more of a matte finish compared to the other shiny 1980s version. You can see his head moves pretty easily there. I don't want to rip it off, but it's probably on a ball socket as well. You can see immediately doesn't want to stand up. Come on, Webby, you can do it. I'll just keep rotating you around. One thing I did notice, he's got this awesome backpack here. Now I don't want to unravel it because it's going to annoy me if I do, but it is one of the gimmicks of Webstor. He's a spider person, an arachna from the planet Eternia. So he's kind of labelled as a stealth master and a thief, seen in his Spotlight episode, The Cat and the Spider, in 1983. But his big chunky backpack, one thing in the original one didn't have that this does is it's got these little hooks on the side so that you can wrap the cord around for safety purposes. which is way better than the original one, because the original one, it'd just be hanging off willy-nilly. Now, is he going to stand, or is he going to fall? That's a good game. There we go. Not too bad. So overall, pretty good colouring. Let's get the original out here, and we'll do a quick comparison. Now that I've got him to stand, I'm going to have to get him to move. Alright, let's see if we can do it without the whole thing going to pieces. Alright, let's bring in the original. Here is the original. I've had to get a stand for him. Might move him back so that we can see exactly what's going on here. There we go. So you can see the original one there. You can't stand, it's those bands in his legs there that go through the old loincloth. If I turn him around, you'll see look at the tilt on that. Limbo Master. But his head's a lot squishier. Squish, squish. Compared to the Retro, which is much harder plastic. But you can see that the gun sculpt on both of those are very similar. The shiny finish there on the armor of the original compared to the matte finish of the newer one, but very similar. It's part of the reason why I got him the updated version, because he does look so similar. It gives you that same sort of feeling. The backpack, I'll show you what I was talking about before. This one's not my original one. I sold that off in the scam of 2013, but it doesn't have any hooks or anything to keep things on there, and there's no rope and grappling hook there, but the armor itself is still intact pretty much, so that's why he's pretty good. But overall, very comparable. I do like this Retro one much more than the cartoon edition, so he'll be taking his place amongst the collection, as I stated. You know, the final piece of the Masters of the Universe collection there. And yeah, so if you see him out and about there, definitely be tempted to grab him. I'm glad I got mine. So thanks for popping by, and I'll see you again next time on Dusty Toys. Bye.
Dusty Toys.